Hey, Reviews and Dunn. Who's giving you a dose this week?
All right, so what's going on, folks? It's your boy Derek Dunn back with another A1 interview. You guys have been seeing my interviews with the cast and crew from what I've said is arguably the best movie of 2026 in terms of action, and that is The Furious. I've been a fan of this gentleman since 2012 when The Raid dropped, and that's Mr. Joe Taslim. Hope I said that right. And
Right.
you guys have seen his work. He's been putting the work in for years. So welcome to the line, sir. And The Furious, when I keep on saying this is the best action movie of 2026, it is the best action movie of 2026. I mean, it's just like The Raid, to where it pulls you in and it does not let up. It just goes from beginning to end. And my best friend and I watched it, and every time we thought something was gonna like not blow our minds, something else would happen a few minutes later, just like, oh my God. So for you, what was the experience like working on the set with Brian and the gentleman that was mute, just the entire thing?
It was great. It was a great experience, Derek. Lucky enough, they're great people. You know, they're great people. No ego. I think we were on the same page that we're trying to create something beautiful for action genre, and then with Kenji, yeah, leading us, and Kensuke Sanomura, who's in charge in all of those stunts and choreography, and then their amazing duos. Um, I gotta say, it was hard. It was hard because we were ambitious, because we trying to elevate the action genre to another level and set the bar as high as possible. But in the process of doing it, under direction of Kenji, and then working with super talented people, but at the same time super humble, it was mentally it was not hard, because we work with people that want to work, collaborate, and open, and want to support each other, and then it's a collaborative process. It's not
Yeah.
never about one person, especially the five-way fight. It's impossible if one guy's selfish. It's impossible to achieve what we achieve in five-way fight in finale. And but in terms of physicality, in terms of exhaustion, this this movie is nonstop exhausting every single day, especially the final fight. It was
Oh yeah.
night shoot 18 days. So after 1 week, you don't sleep at night, and daytime sleeping is different quality. You're on the set, but you're drowsy. You're kind of like, oh, but you still gotta keep going. But luckily, great family. Yeah.
So you mentioned the final fight, and I think one of the things that I've noticed is that of course, the people that have interviewing you guys and talking about it, they all talk about the final fight. But if I'm not mistaken, the studio and Kenji kind of made the wise choice not to really show anything in the promo material about the final fight,
True. Smart.
because that's like, again, correct me if I'm wrong. I think Kenji told me it was like 25 minutes of just straight up ass kicking.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, it's just you're so hyped, and then when yourself, your co-stars, but you know, I've been big upping Brian Lee the entire time, because the stuff that Brian does in this movie,
Holy
you know,
cow.
like it's some next level shit. Like,
He's a King Kong in this one. He's a T-Rex.
yeah,
Yeah.
the entire like time. And again, I'm a fan of yours. You're a
Mhm.
co-star from The Raid to play Mad Dog.
Yeah.
When he came in, and I saw my friend who hadn't seen The Raid. I'm like, yo, the guy with the arrow, that's a bad man. But Brian was just like the entire film. He just keeps on going and going and going,
True.
like he can't go.
True.
And speaking with him, he said the same thing about you. He was like working with Joe was a dream come true, because he was a fan of the Raid, and then seeing you elevate to where you guys are now, and it just comes across as not necessarily wire work, but with the training that you guys have, it's so believable the way you guys are fighting, because it's like, you'll stop, you'll kind of back up, take a breath, and then you go right back into the fight sequence thing.
Yeah. Well, Brian, like you said, I agree. Brian, he's super talented. He's so young, but super talented. And the thing is that he learned everything from YouTube. How's that even possible? You learn all those martial art moves from YouTube and watching from classic Hong Kong movies and got inspired and practiced in his garage with his brother. I was like, you guys are kung fu genius. And then he did a great job in this one. I think it's just a matter of time. He's gonna be the next action star for sure. If he's not already is. And what's the question again? Sorry.
Oh, no, no, that was it. So my final question is, so like I said, haven't seen the film. I can't wait to see it again with the crowd.
Yeah,
I really hope that folks go out and experience this with the crowd, because this is a
yeah,
movie to where it's the reason why we go to the movies, where you're applauding the theater, you're like
yeah,
holding your popcorn, you toss it up in the air.
yeah,
It truly is a fantastic movie going experience.
yeah.
So what's the one thing you hope that film goers take away from The Furious?
Well, from my take, I really hope that this is the movie that brings people back to cinema. Because the best way to watch this movie is, like you said, with friends. It's a communal experience. And then this movie gives so much. I'm not being biased because I'm in it, but I know all my friends, all my co-actors work so hard for it. And I know Kenji put amazing touch. Kensuke worked so hard. And then their dream special, Bill Kong, before we shot this one, he said like, he did like Crouching Tiger and Dragon, Hero, all those legendary action movies. And then he's not young anymore. He said like, I want to do something like ultimate action movie with you guys. And then this is gonna be his legacy. And I really hope he's doing more because I believe he can. This is such an important movie that's gonna change how people watch action movies. And then
Definitely.
this is gonna set the bar so high, and then it's great because we need to know that you need to differentiate good action movies and bad action movies. That's how the genre can grow so much. Because if people sick and tired of bad action movies, and then people stop going to the cinema watching actions. So this movie is very important in that purpose, in that mission, that we want people to go back to cinema, watch good action movies, and celebrate and get inspired.
Facts. All right, sir. Again, I want to thank you for taking time out of your schedule to chop it up with me. And you guys can catch The Furious in theaters on June 12th.
Thank you, Derek.
Thank you.
Yo, what's going on? This is Drizzy Drake.
Hi, this is Rihanna.
Hey, what's up? This is Ludacris.
You're rocking with the best. It's Reviews and Dunn.